Welcome everybody, and thanks for joining us over your lunch hour. I'll be going over your insurance options when you retire. More so, I would say I would like to put more focus on health insurance, as a lot of you are watching this, maybe thinking about what to do for health insurance when you retire, and hopefully this answers a lot of questions. We will be going over health insurance, dental, vision, and also life insurance. And RHIC at the end too, retiree health insurance credit. We'll get to that later. Okay, here are all of your qualifying events to be able to get on the insurances with NDPERS. So the first one on top here is when you start the pension. When you start your pension with NDPERS, you can get on the NDPERS insurances. Also, if you're a non-NDPERS retirement plan, such as TIAA or TFFR, you could be eligible for NDPERS insurances as well. It'd be a qualifying event when you start that retirement as well. So one is when you start your retirement plan and you start your lifetime benefit and get on and the insurances that you're eligible for. Also, when you turn age 65, you're eligible for Medicare. Excuse me. Another qualifying event is when you start Part B of Medicare. And the big one is when you lose your group health insurance coverage. So if you have health insurance through NDPERS or you have health insurance through your employer, it's not through NDPERS. If you're losing group health insurance, you're eligible for COBRA. You're also eligible for Marketplace, and we'll get into that in a little bit. So first, we're going to go over health insurance. For the most part, I think this is probably the most popular one. People sometimes maybe can retire. Maybe some of you have met your rule of 85 and maybe just haven't retired because health insurance is so expensive. So hopefully you have some information in here that could help you and maybe look at some other options. So here are the three possible options for health insurance when you retire. First one is COBRA, which most of you probably know about. COBRA is pretty expensive. It's a high premium, and you're eligible for COBRA when you lose group health insurance. Same thing as the Marketplace, and we'll get into that a little bit. I'll explain the Marketplace. That is not through NDPERS, but it's a really good option to at least check out. Dakota Retiree plan, that is through NDPERS, and you or your spouse or one of your dependents would have to be Medicare eligible to get on that. So first we'll go over COBRA. If you're currently enrolled in an NDPERS health insurance plan as an active employee, you could get on COBRA through NDPERS. And this would be, I mean, not only retiring, I mean, if you're going to be leaving employment, not necessarily drawing your pension, you could be eligible for COBRA too for 18 months. If you're enrolled in a non-NDPERS health insurance, so if you don't have health insurance through NDPERS, you have it through your employer, but it's not through NDPERS, you still could be eligible through COBRA through that plan through your employer. And that coverage is for 18 months, so you would have to find, something after that time period. But like I'll cover the next slide, the Marketplace is another option that, from what I've seen in retirement counseling, a lot of people don't know about. So hopefully this will help a lot of you today, and at least going to check that out. And I'll go over that really soon here. But first, one thing I do want to stress on COBRA, one really great thing about COBRA is if you're doing a lot of treating and you're going to be leaving employment or you're going to be retiring but you've been doing a lot of treating and you met your deductible and your co-insurances, your out-of-pocket maximum is met for that calendar year, and you go with COBRA, your current status or your current out-of-pocket for the plan will continue. So if you met all your deductible and your co-insurances for that calendar year under your health insurance, transitioning into COBRA when you leave employment, that will continue for that calendar year. So you don't have to beat your deductible and your co-insurances and that all over again going into COBRA. So now with the marketplace, you can enroll in marketplace health insurance if you lose group health insurance. So this is not through ND PERS. So this is not something that we can tell you how much it's going to cost or you know what benefits it has, because you can choose different plans through the marketplace. So this is healthcare.gov. You can go out to healthcare.gov. It's a federal program, health insurance that you can get. It's guaranteed issue. So same as COBRA that way. But you can go on healthcare.gov and you can see ahead of time. You can go and you can put your premium, you can put your how much money you make, you can put your household size, and that will determine if you qualify for a subsidy on your premium. So your premium, if you qualify for a subsidy, could be a lot less. It could be zero if you're a low income person, but you don't necessarily have to be a low income person to qualify for a subsidy. I mean, I've had people that I talk to go check the marketplace, and not a low income individual, definitely not a high income earner, but qualify for a subsidy and have their premium way less than COBRA. So that's something you definitely want to look at. I mean, if you're somebody who can retire, you met your rule, and you're not retiring because COBRA is really expensive or health insurance is really expensive, and you haven't checked the marketplace, go on to healthcare.gov. It's a great option to have. If you don't know about it, hopefully you can go on there and check it out, explore it, see what options you have. If you're a high income earner or a higher income earner, most likely you wouldn't qualify for a subsidy and the premiums would be really high. The people who I've talked to doing retirement counseling who are higher income earners and don't qualify for a subsidy, those premiums are really expensive too, like COBRA, or even more than COBRA. So if you do qualify, I mean, might as well. It doesn't hurt to check. You can go check on healthcare.gov, see if you qualify for a subsidy, and maybe the premium will be, you know, a lot lower. So if you do qualify for a subsidy, usually that premium is going to be a lot lower than COBRA. So a great option to check out. Now, the Dakota Retiree plan is through ND PERS, and this would be if you or your spouse or a dependent of yours that's on the plan is Medicare eligible. In most cases, it's either the member or their spouse who is going to be turning 65 and is going to be eligible for Medicare. So then you'd be eligible for the Dakota Retiree plan when you retire and start drawing your pension. If you or your spouse is 65, it doesn't have to be you. I mean, if your spouse is 65, which is kind of a cool feature of this plan. I mean, if you're not 65 yet, but your spouse is, excuse me, you can take the Dakota Retiree plan plus others, or also known as Medicare plus others, where whoever is on Medicare would get the Dakota Retiree plan, which is a Medicare supplement and prescription drug plan, and the others would be just the regular health insurance. And that's a pretty popular option. If people are eligible for that, they seem to be pretty happy to get it. The premium is pretty competitive. And we'll go into a little bit more of the Dakota Retiree plan. So the Dakota Retiree plan is a secondary to Medicare. So you do have to have Medicare Part A and B to get it, just like any other Medicare supplement. This one comes along with a prescription drug plan with Humana. The Medicare supplement, and I'll get into that in a little bit, there's a nice slide later on that shows that shows the cards with Humana and Sanford Medicare. That makes it nice to see. But we do get this question fairly often. Someone wondering, do I need Medicare? Or do I need to get Part, A and B? And yes, you do. You do have to have Medicare A and B to get the Dakota Retiree plan, because you need Medicare A and B to get a Medicare supplement and a prescription drug plan, which is what the Dakota Retiree plan is. Now, if you're 65 years old and still working and still have group health insurance, you don't need to get Medicare Part B yet, because Medicare Part B you do have to pay for, and I mean, you don't need to pay for Part B if you have group health insurance, because you have it, you don't need it. But when you are going to retire and leave employment, you do have to have Medicare Part B, and you do have to start paying for it at that time. So Medicare Part B for this calendar year is $170 a month, and that starts at basically on how much you make. So if you're a higher income earner, it could be higher than 170 a month and up from there. But most people pay 170 a month for Part B. Okay, why do I need other insurance besides Medicare? So this is a good question. We get this a lot, because you're not only signing up for the Dakota Retiree plan, but you're also, in a lot of cases, if you're going to be 65, doing Medicare too. So that might be another question. Although we can't really help you with signing up for Medicare and Social Security, we can advise or help you with informing you that Medicare Parts A and B do not cover everything. Generally, Medicare A and B will cover generally 80%. So you will want to get a Medicare supplement or a secondary insurance like what this is with the Dakota Retiree plan. So the Dakota Retiree plan, the Medicare supplement with Sanford, covers everything that Medicare doesn't cover if it's covered by Medicare. So it's a really good plan. The supplements through Sanford, the prescription drug plan is through Humana. And here's the slide that I like that I was talking about. So when you're 65 and you go on Medicare and you have the Dakota Retiree plan, you'll have 3 cards. Or even if you don't have the Dakota Retiree plan, if you have insurance somewhere else, a supplement somewhere else, you'll want to get a supplement and a drug plan also. Usually they'd be separate. But the Dakota Retiree plan combines them. You have the Medicare supplement through Sanford, and you have the drug plan through Humana, and they're combined and you can't separate them. The Dakota Retiree plan has them combined. You don't have to worry about getting another drug plan. You don't have to worry about, getting a drug plan every year. You might hear of, friends or family members or someone getting a drug plan every year or having to worry about it every year during open enrollment. You don't have to do that with this plan. And the other thing too is there's only one drug plan, so it's tied to the Dakota Retiree plan with the supplement, and you don't have to worry about doing any of that. But you would have 3 cards. You'd have your Medicare card, which you're probably familiar with seeing, and if you're 65 and still working, you would probably only see hospital Part A on here. Part B won't even be listed here. But when you sign up for the Dakota Retiree plan or a Medicare supplement prescription drug plan, you have to make Part B effective the same time as your supplement and drug plan, or earlier. So like I said, the prescription drug plan is through Humana. The prescription drug plan is also known as Part D. So you may hear of all these letters, may get kind of confusing when you're going into Medicare, because you have Medicare A and B, which are pretty standard, and then you have Part D, which is the prescription drug plan. And then you have the Medicare supplement too, that covers what Medicare A and B doesn't. So if I can go, I'm going to go back one. So you'd have A and B with Medicare. That wouldn't be through ND PERS, and that's through Medicare, A and B. And then your Medicare supplement covers what A and B doesn't. Then you have Part D, or your prescription drug plan, is with Humana. Okay, and if you are retiring and retiring with an ND PERS retirement plan, you will also be eligible for dental and vision coverage. If you have dental and vision now through ND PERS, it's the exact same dental and vision coverage that you have. Same coverage, same premium, and everything. If you don't have it now, you are eligible for it when you start an ND PERS retirement plan, and they do have a network. You can go onto their website to see if your dentist is in the network, but you can ask your dentist too if they accept Delta Dental, or your eye doctor if they accept Superior Vision. And all the information for all these insurances are located on our website, ndpers.nd.gov. You can go, you can see more detail in the coverages and the premiums. And we also have other YouTube videos out there for you to watch too. We just recently did one with PrEP. That one's really detailed on all the coverages. This one here today, this will be on YouTube too, but just a little more general to what insurances that you're eligible for when you retire. So here's a Superior Vision. You can go on there too. It's a network too, so you'd want to make sure that they're in network. But the same thing, you can call your eye doctor too and see if Superior Vision would be in the network. So I am also going to go over the retiree health insurance credit. So if you're wondering what the RHIC, or the retiree health insurance credit, is, I'm going to go over that here too. So the RHIC is a monthly lifetime reimbursement for eligible premiums, which is any after-tax premiums for health, dental, vision, or long-term care premiums. Not medical expenses like you're maybe used to, but these are for premiums, any after-tax premiums. So this is kind of a nice perk that helps you. This was designed for health insurance. As you can see in the name, is retiree health insurance credit. It was designed to help retired members with their health insurance premiums. And the way you earn it is $5 per every year of service. So if you have 10 years of service in the plan, that would be $50 a month. Every single month, when you start drawing your monthly benefit, you'd have $50 every single month for the rest of your life. If you have 20 years in the plan, that'd be $100 a month you'd get every single month to help you with health, vision, dental, or long-term care premiums. So if you have any of those insurances through ND PERS, ND PERS will do that, will submit that for you. So if you have health insurance like the Dakota Retiree plan, or COBRA, or the dental or vision insurance through ND PERS, ND PERS will submit that reimbursement to ASI Flex for you. So that reimbursement won't come off the top of your premium, but what happens is the premium will get taken out of your pension or your bank account, however you elect to do that on your retirement forms. And then in the background, ND PERS will submit that to ASI Flex to get your reimbursement, and then about 5 days later, your RHIC will show up in your bank account. So it's a little bit delayed because we're doing the work in the background. Now, if you have health insurance, you still can claim your RHIC, your retiree health insurance credit. If you don't have health insurance through ND PERS, let's say you didn't take, or you don't want ND PERS health insurance or dental or vision, and you have health insurance somewhere else, you can submit. You still can get your RHIC, but you have to submit it yourself to ASI Flex. So you can either do that online. You can create an account with ASI Flex do it, or you can submit it by mail, just showing the premium that you're paying for the health insurance. The easiest way to do it is if you're on Medicare, to send the letter that Medicare sends you for the Part B premium, because you just have to do it once a year then. But here's all the information for ASI Flex. If you don't have any health, dental, or vision through ND PERS when you retire to claim it, here's some good information to use. ASI Flex is great to talk to. There's their phone number, there's their email and website, www.asiflex.com. You can create an account. You can upload your information right on the website. It's actually pretty user-friendly. If you don't want to do that, if you're not really a computer savvy person, you don't like to do it that way, you can mail in your information to ASI Flex to claim your reimbursement. The mailing address is on here too. But if you do have any health, dental, or vision through ND PERS, you don't have to worry about doing this. This will get done for you. So life insurance, the life insurance through ND PERS is through Voya, and when you retire and start your retirement, if you have life insurance currently with ND PERS, you can continue life insurance if you want to. So for one, you have to have life insurance with ND PERS currently as an active employee, and then retire under one of the retirement plans as a ND PERS retirement plan, or Highway Patrol, or TIAA, or TFFR job service. And if you're not 65 yet, when you're eligible to retire, and you retire and start collecting a benefit, and you have life insurance currently with ND PERS, you can continue that same coverage life insurance until you're 65. So you can continue, let's say you have $100,000 or $200,000 in coverage currently with ND PERS, and then you retire and start drawing your benefit, and you're not 65 yet, you can continue that same $100,000 or $200,000 or whatever you have for the same premium until you turn 65. When you turn 65, the life insurance will drop down to $1,300 in coverage for $4.32 a month. And let's say that you do have life insurance currently, you're 65 and you retire, start drawing your benefit. The option you would have for life insurance would be the $1,300 for $4.32 a month for life insurance.